first memories of music must be from about 4 or 5 years old, as I would go to the piano and I would just improvise stories. I do remember when I had to go to school that I was really terrified to go into a room with a bunch of other kids. So I would just sort of stay in my room and play music. There wouldn't have been any chance of me being diagnosed because there was no diagnosis at the time. When I was about 13, I picked up a guitar, and the minute I picked up a guitar, I was fully immersed in it and never really stopped. I went to USC music school, but still didn't think about composition. Me getting out of college was right when I think MIDI really came on the market. And I just basically closed myself in a room for like 4 months and figured out all this electronic stuff, but also figured out that I really liked writing music. And I got very good at this stuff very quickly. Because I could do that, I fell into writing film scores. And things have been rolling along since. It was around 2000. I was just competing with a couple friends to see who could score the highest on an IQ test. And at the end of the test, there was a link that said, you know, are you autistic? And I sort of mockingly took the test. The results were that I was very likely on the spectrum. But that just sort of sat in my head for about 18 years. And every time I would read an article, I'd look at that, oh, okay, that kind of sounds like me. And that's when I started really asking the question, which led me to a formal diagnosis. I have ASD, Autism Spectrum Disorder, Level 1. I think my autism affects my composing in a positive way in my ability to hyperfocus. I get so submerged into my little world and I lose track of everything else. I'm very much a hyper-systematizer. I can see the patterns and things, flip music into numbers very quickly. I just sort of have a map of the whole film in my head of where all the music is, of all the versions I've done. I can imagine what things would be like if this happened, if that happened. And I think that that's very valuable in being a film composer. Autism was an obstacle for me in the schmooze zone of Hollywood. Being the super charming person at the dinner party who says the right thing, or the cocktail party, I don't really know what to say or how to flow with it very well, that I'm able to get into the groove. And if I didn't have music, I could very easily have had serious problems with unemployment my whole life. And when I learned about the unemployment rates, I said, you know, this is an area where I can help out. Autism Speaks has helped me, had the courage to come out publicly and say, I'm on the spectrum. Let's make some changes in this world. It has made Silicon Valley wealthy enough. I think that's where my advocacy started to feel so good, is that in a few years from now, knowing that I have, hey, I helped this many people get into jobs, right? That's something I'm just hell-bent on doing.
I hope to see a great shift in perception during my lifetime. Hasn't happened yet, but that's why we're all here now. And so thanks very much for having me.
As I started to speak on panels and be around more autistic people, I started to make really good friends. And I started to see how much I enjoy being around all sorts of autistic people. Business leaders need to recognize what types of talents people on the spectrum have. And that's what people don't get about autistic employment yet. There's specialized brains that need some special things to do some incredible stuff. I think what I've learned since my diagnosis is I've learned what I'm really good at, and I'm much more aware of the things that I'm not. You begin to sort of look at my life and realize, okay, I can kind of reshape my life. I've learned how to manage anxiety much better, and I'm getting much better at it. I think we're looking at the dawn of autistic value. I think that this is our time as a community to come out. I think it's our time to demand to be valued. And it's time for us to step forward and take our place.